If you've been learning about NFTs, you've probably heard they are like digital Pokemons, a digital collectible that has value. This is not wrong, but I want to give you a better idea of how to view NFTs. They're more like playing cards. Once you understand that they're more like playing cards, you're gonna have a better understanding of how they change how we invest and how we're able to produce the greatest value. Hi, I'm Craig. I'm an economics professor here at Market Power. Be sure to subscribe. Let's go. I think the main reason the first reference point for NFTs is digital collectibles is because it justifies absurd prices. So I've talked about this before, how when you look at these two Pokemon cards, they look exactly the same. They feel exactly the same until you turn them over and realize one is a trainer and one is a holographic Charizard. Sorry, I got a little kind of hiccup thing going on there. The Dark Charizard, it's a holographic one right there. I think if you have a PSA 10, it's going for over $200, something like that. This, I don't even think people will pay anything for it. When people talk about whether a piece of cardboard is really worth hundreds or thousands of dollars, or if a banana duct taped to a wall is worth over $125,000, that gets explained away by saying, well, it's art. There are people with preferences. They like these things, and NFTs are like that. So that's why I think the metaphor is collectibles, because it puts it in the asset class that justifies its value. This is why the art market has been where NFTs have really broken through and thrived, because it was already a wacky market. It was already a place where people drop crazy sums of money. So, hey, we incorporate this new technology. It's easy to do it with something where we already have a strange market rather than trying to introduce it into a normal market that we're used to. That's why I want to shift the way you think about these towards playing cards. Here's a deck of playing cards that I just grabbed from the closet in my house. It's a deck of cards that we have had for a long time. I think at least since I got married almost 12 years ago. A deck of cards is versatile. I can use this for so many different things. I can use this to play solitaire. I can play card games with my kids. I can even do mediocre magic tricks with it. And that's the beauty of it. These are my cards. I get to do whatever I want with it. And when I bought them, I might not have even realized all the different things that I would be able to do with them. Maybe there are games that people are going to invent in the next couple of years that involve playing cards that I can start. Like, I can just take the set of cards I already have and I can start playing that game. That's the way that you need to be thinking about NFTs. NFTs are creating digital property. And while they're big in art and collectibles right now, eventually what we're gonna find is a lot of our assets online are stored as NFTs. Why are NFTs gonna become so attractive for our digital assets? Well, because we have complete ownership over them. When I think about these things, I think about my Kindle. When I buy books on my Kindle, I'm buying just a piece of digital work, right? It's similar to buying an NFT, except I don't have ownership over the books that I bought for this thing. If Amazon stops making Kindles, I can't read my books anymore. Now you might say Amazon would never get rid of the Kindle books. This is something that's so profitable, but it is a possibility, and it's happened to people before. 2 years ago in 2019, Microsoft had an ebook store, but then shut it down. You don't remember this because not very many people were using it. But when that bookstore shut down, Microsoft pulled a Thanos and just snapped away everybody's books. They disappeared off of their devices. It was a reminder that when you buy these books on a Kindle, on any sort of reading platform, you aren't actually buying the book, you're buying a license to read that book on a device. On the other hand, check out what I have here. This is a deck of playing cards, even older than the deck that I had there. This is from 2003 is when I got these. I traveled to Spain and I just picked up a deck of playing cards, and they're really cool. They have all these pictures on every card. They're bullfighting, so maybe you're not into that part of it, but they're beautiful cards. I thought it was really interesting with all these different pictures on it. I still have them. I can do whatever I want with them. I can use this to play solitaire. I can play card games with my kids. I can even do mediocre magic tricks with it. This is like buying a skin for my playing cards. Like you go on Fortnite, which uses lots of economics, by the way. I interviewed an economist who works at Fortnite if you want to check that out. Fortnite will sell you a skin, but that skin is limited to your use on Fortnite. If you wanted to go play a different game, if you want to play Roblox, if you want to play Among Us, that skin doesn't transfer to those games. If Fortnite were to shut down tomorrow, you would lose everything you bought in that game. But the people who I bought this from can't come in and say, you know what? these cards, you're not allowed to use them anymore. And that's why I look at these and remember that the future of NFTs isn't trading cards, it's playing cards. It's going to change the way we invest. Why? I think a good contrast for this is social media. It's 2010. Imagine yourself as me sitting in this small auditorium as a professor is walking in front of the class and asking, is it worth it for businesses to create a social media presence? Well, 11 years later, it's easy for us to look back at that and say, what a silly question, what a silly debate. These people didn't even realize what was coming. But at the time, we had two major objections to whether you should invest in a social media presence. The first major objection, companies were worried about whether Facebook was just a fad or whether it was something that's going to be around for a while, and social media just generally. This was a time when social media was just popping up all over the place. In fact, just a few weeks after that debate, Google announced a new social media platform that ended up being garbage. It was unclear that the investments you make in there would be around. And that's the same thing when you are going around and investing in a new game. Think about Fortnite. You buy a skin in Fortnite, hoping that this is going to be something worthwhile for you over the life of while Fortnite is still popular. Now, Fortnite has some staying power, but think about Fall Guys just a year ago. Fall Guys looked like it was going to be the next fun party game, and it only lasted a few months until Among Us squashed it. If you were investing in Fall Guys at the very beginning, that investment has already crashed. NFTs help solve this problem because it creates a permanent piece of property that continues to exist afterwards. So if you are on Fortnite and you buy a skin in Fortnite, then that skin becomes yours. If Fortnite completely closes, you still have a record that says you bought a skin in Fortnite. A new game could come along and say, hey, we will recognize that piece of property that you have and you can use that in this game. And they'll want to do that because it provides an incentive to bring people onto their platform. Another incentive is early adopters might jump onto a game because they will buy an asset, an NFT in that game that would continue to exist and appreciate in value. And they're rewarded for being the people who jumped on first. There's of course going to be risk and uncertainty with these investments, but at least you could say they have skin in the game. The second reason why social media is a good counterpoint to think of is that there wasn't a clear path to monetization at the very beginning. That was the big question around Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. How are these platforms going to monetize? How is a business going to come on and monetize? It was unclear at the time. Now we know, we just throw ads just smack dab in your face. NFTs are breaking from social media because people can see a clear path to monetization. It's an asset that you're creating that people can carry on with them, and people are willing to buy those things. And that's why after you started to see the success of Beeple, CryptoKitties, you see NBA Top Shot, now all of a sudden people are creating NFTs like crazy because they see the value alignment. When I create something, I can immediately create value from that. I think these parts of the NFT, when they're not just collectibles, but when they're digital assets that provide value and that give you a return on your investment, I think that has the potential to unlock a whole new wave of the internet. We might actually be in the internet dark times right now. I want to explore this in a future video. If you're interested in the value of NFTs for the next generation of the internet, let me know in the comments below. But if you also want to learn more about NFTs and why they have so much value, I've created a video up here. I would love for you to go check out that video, and I will see you in the next one.